What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode. This is episode number 15, and we're starting today's episode off on the back of the loss to Leicester. We have now not won a game in 6 in the Premier League. Yeah, really tough run of form of Crystal Palace, but the only good news is that, well, as we enter the first game of today's episode here, doesn't feel like it's going to matter too much. Yeah, our first game was away at Goodison Park against Everton, chasing a European place for Season 2 of this save. But right now, we're still safely in mid-table. We have been locked in 11th place practically for most of the season. And so I feel for sure that even as the season comes to its close, there's no chance we're going down now. Yeah, just a few games to go as we're now into April. We're going to be fine. We're not going to make Europe now, or so it seems. A really tough run of form. No wins in 6 in the league, but going down isn't going to happen. We're going to be safe. We're going to finish in mid-table, and that's exactly what we were planning at the start of the season. What did I say when the save began way back in episode 1? I want mid-table. I want a very realistic first season. It's what we're going to get. Yeah, we're not going to sneak into Europe, or so it seems. We might still break the top 10. We're not going to go down either. Just like last season in real life when Palace finished 12th, we're going to finish in a similar sort of position, and I'll take that. Very realistic and a nice solid base to build on for season 2. But I do want a strong finish. We might not be going down, but I do want to end our poor run of form. No wins in our last 6. That's got to change. So first game of today's episode here. Everton away. Frank Lampard's Toffees at Goodison Park, and what a fantastic start. Conor Gallagher opens the scoring, and then Abrechi Eze doubles the score to make it 2. Half an hour in. You see the odds on Edouard is coming back from injury. We've missed him, Edouard. Whilst our problems have been primarily on defence this year, Edouard has been our most consistent goal scorer alongside Wilfried Zaha, but Eze on that left-hand side stepping in to make it 2. Doubles our lead half an hour in. And that's the thing, like I always back myself to score goals, you know. I always feel like I'm going to get the goals. I know we didn't score against Leicester in the last game, but I know I'll get goals. It's FIFA 22. Goals in games are just, you know, as common as they get. We know that this game is a goal glut, really. So I know I'm going to get the goals, even in the absence of my main man up top. And the proof is in the pudding here at Goodison. 41 minutes in, we're 3-0 up. Michael Elise robs his man, goes through 1-on-1, bends it past Jordan Pickford. And I know at this point at half time, there we go. Our winless run coming to an end here against Everton. So yeah, with Southampton are right around the corner. That's our third and final game today at Wembley. We had a midweek game against Manchester City as well, but I knew heading into that Southampton game, I had to win at least one of these 2 games. And I didn't really fancy my chances against Pep's side in midweek on Wednesday night. I was going to rest some players anyway with a trip to Wembley on the weekend as well. So I thought in this game, this was the game I had to win. I was playing very intensely in this game. Had to win this one because we talked about in the last episode, AI form is so OP. Needed to make sure that I could win this game and stop the poor run of form to have a better chance of beating Southampton in the following weekend. And I'll be totally honest here, I should have been like 5, 6, even possibly 7-0 up in this game with 10 minutes to go. I missed some golden chances, even though I was still leading by 3. And with 10 minutes on the clock after Gaita made a great save, trying to keep a rare clean sheet here from the corner. We sprint down this left-hand side. Elise runs and takes it coast to coast down this left flank. Man, oh man, I tell you, this is something which, as I often talk about, exploits in FIFA nowadays are far and few between. There's nowhere near as many as they used to be, but I often talk about this a lot. You know, for those that wonder how I score so many goals from defending corners, there's your answer right there. You've just seen it. The flanks are literally a ghost town. There is nobody on those sides of the pitch. Mostly like in real life as well, but of course in real life ordinarily a player can get across and cover quite quickly. That can't happen in FIFA. Players don't turn quickly enough. Players, especially the AI players, if they've got a less than high defensive work rate and also they've got less energy, which they will have naturally towards the end of the game, they're not going to catch up. So I often talk about it a lot. If you've got a quick front three and you've got quick players, when I was playing junior football, and I'm going back a long time now, I'm almost 30. When I was playing junior football, we were taught this, you know, from corners you always have an escape man, the guy that stands on the halfway line to possibly help a quick counter attack. If you've got that and you angle him towards the flank, or if you just run out with the man who gets the ball inside the area or just outside it as well, you've literally got a whole pitch of space to run into. There's no one there, and you can go all the way down the flank, and then if you want, step inside or shoot, or like we did for the fourth goal there, cut it back to a man in the middle. It's crazy, man. There aren't many exploits to use in FIFA nowadays, but that is one I would always recommend. When you're defending corners, drag your escape man out to the flank, or if it doesn't come to him, then come forward naturally if you win the ball back inside your own area, and don't run direct, don't run through the middle. Go to the touchline, go to the side of the pitch and run down that flank, because it is totally vacant. There's no one there and you've got tons of space to run into. It's one of the easiest ways to score goals in this year's FIFA. Exploit the pace, because no matter what anyone says, pace will always be a dominant aspect of physicality in FIFA. It always will be. Like, come on, man, let's just call it what it is. FIFA for years on end has been dominated mostly by the pacey players. The gap has lessened, the gap has shortened in years. That is true. It's no longer like it was in FIFA 13 or FIFA 14 in the days of Ibarbo, for example. It's not quite the same, but it is still a pace-orientated game. So if you've got quick players and you go on the counter, you use that space down the flanks, you get in behind. How many times do I talk about it? You get in behind the back line, it's game over. They ain't going to catch up. They ain't going to catch up. You're one-on-one, and you might have a man to cut it back to, or go one-on-one to shoot with a man controlling the ball. Yeah, it's one of the easiest ways to score the goals. But even so, we won that game there against Everton 4-0, and then in midweek, well, this was an absolute shocker. But what have I been talking about recently with AI form and your form as well? You lose a couple of games on the bounce and you might go 3 or 4, or in our case 6 without a win. You get back to winning ways and suddenly you can win pretty comfortably. We just took on Manchester City, who, okay, to be fair, aren't having a great season in the game. They're right now, I believe, in 7th place. It's not a good season for Guardiola's side by their standards, but even so, did you see my lineup? Oh my god, it was so weak. I basically just waved a white flag pre-game, and Man City took it off my hands, wrote 3 points on it, and then surrendered it back to me. I couldn't believe it. I somehow beat Manchester City almost at full strength with my backup team with Crystal Palace. But like I said, this is what I talked about in the last episode. Form, EA, you got to tone it down, man. You've got to tone it down, because it's not realistic. You know, okay, form should be in the game. Of course it should. It's a real part of team sport. Everyone knows that. But way too OP. We thrashed Everton 4-0, and then suddenly our backup side have the balls to go and take the game to Manchester City and win 2-1. Ludicrous. But the reason why I did rotate my entire side on Wednesday night, not expecting win but got it anyway, was because of this. Our third and final game today. Wembley, first trip in the save, FA Cup semi-final against Southampton. Both of these teams got to domestic cup finals in years gone by. Yep, Southampton got to the EFL Cup final, only to be beaten by Manchester United. And of course, Crystal Palace also got beaten by Manchester United at Wembley in an FA Cup final as well. These two teams now back at Wembley for the first time since then, meeting for an FA Cup semi-final. Heading into the game, we were favourites, no doubt about that. Back-to-back victories. I had a fully strength side after resting everyone on Wednesday night against Manchester City as well. But I knew it was going to be a tough one against Ralph Hasenhüttl's side. Both teams desperate to get back to another domestic cup final. It was 1-1 at the break. We opened the scoring through Zaha. Che Adams leveled it within 10 minutes after the restart. Like I just mentioned, get a man in behind the back line that's got the pace and you are home and dry. Wilf, who scored our opener, gets the goal to restore our lead. 10 minutes after the break, it's 2-1 Crystal Palace and we restore the lead at Wembley. The question was, could we keep Southampton at bay? Now, I knew I could score the goals because this is FIFA 22, but defending, how can I cope against a very good offensive Southampton team? Well, 57 minutes in, practically right after Zaha restored our lead, Turan finds Armando Broja, and Diallo on the first time volley beats Sam Johnston at the near post, and it's 2-2. And for the second time in the game, the Saints battle back from a goal down to level it. And this is my problem in FIFA 22. It's been my problem all year long. Can I score goals? Easy, easy, easy. Can I defend? Nope. Can't defend, save my life. It's 2-2. The Saints are back on level terms, but I knew it was true. I can't defend, but I can score. And so right from kickoff, I thought, you know what? Forget sitting back. Forget trying to play on the counter. Forget any of those things. just keep on attacking, just keep on going at them, and just keep on getting those shots on goal, because I knew I'd get another, and I did. Right from kickoff, attacking down the left, stepping inside, and there is Super Wilfried Zaha for his third goal, the match ball, restoring our lead, our third in the game. And then I was thinking, alright, do you know what? I've had enough of this. I've had enough of surrendering these leads. Let's wrap it up, and there's no doubt about it. I got a little bit lucky for this goal, but I'm gonna take it. Offloaded to Conor Gallagher on loan from Chelsea. Goes to bend one in. Shot takes a massive deflection, but who does it fall to? The man of the hour, Wilfried Zaha's fourth in the semi-final. Has a player ever scored 4 goals in an FA Cup semi-final? There's a bit of trivia. I'm going to look it up after the episode. I don't think it's ever happened. I don't think it's ever happened. It has now. Zaha's fourth of the game, wraps it up. That would surely do it. And with 4 minutes on the clock, a chance to make it 5, which we would do. Abrechi Eze, the former QPR man, stepping in from the left, body fakes around the last defender, bends it in to the far corner. And it's over. Crystal Palace 5, Southampton 2. Tough patch of form for Crystal Palace. No wins in 6 in the Premier League. But now 3 straight wins in a row. 2 in the Premier League to guarantee safety. And now a win in the FA Cup semi-final. Yep, it's over. 5-2 the final score. And you see what it means. We're heading back to Wembley for the second time in this season for our first ever domestic cup final. It's so funny. You know, in previous FIFAs, I used to be absolutely awful in domestic cups. This year, I've been the Cup King. Yep, I seem to reach Wembley every single year at a save, and we're heading back there for a second time this season as well. We win the FA Cup semi-final. We're going through to take on Manchester City in the FA Cup final. They beat Antonio Conte's Spurs 3-0 in their semi, so Crystal Palace versus Manchester City in the FA Cup final. And after what happened on Wednesday night, I might feel my backup side for it. If we beat them with a backup side, I might throw out the reserves. I don't think so somehow. But even so, FA Cup final, it is guaranteed our first of the save, and we will take on Manchester City. Bring on Pep Guardiola's side at Wembley. But that will end today's episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. Gonna start practicing my Alan Pardew dances if we score in the FA Cup final. Have a great day, and I'll see you for next episode of the Realistic Summer Career Mode very soon.